Okay, so this is our second tutorial. The first tutorial, of course, was creating that turban and making it into a helmet model for Neverwinter Nights 2. Creating a hair model is kind of similar in its own way. You'll pretty much do the same thing. You'll apply it to the head, and then we'll, of course, use the head model as a reference, then delete that out. Keep the hair, much like we did the helmet, and we'll go ahead and add some weights to it, just like you did the helmet, and export it just like you did the helmet. However, the one thing that makes this a little different is that we're going to have to actually do some modeling. Now, not all hairs require modeling, which means going in and touching the mesh, but some do, whereas and also weighting might be a little different because hair, unlike helmets, is not static, so it doesn't just sit there. You have to actually give it some weight to let the engine know that the hair is actually, it sways, because there are some hairs that I've seen in game where they're very stiff and they don't move. It's because of the weighting, because they're all attached to one bone, and when that bone, B45, if you remember from the helmet, when it moves, which is essentially the head, when the head moves, the entire hair moves with it, which is unrealistic for a hair that says swinging down to your middle backside and you're moving and that hair is moving with the head when it shouldn't actually be moving as much because of the weight of the muscle itself, the weight of the model bone, of the armature. So, okay. I'm going to try to speak a little slower. Forgive me, because I was told I'm a little fast when I talk, so I would try. If I end up speaking fast again, it's just because it's who I am. I am my mother's son. My mom speaks fast. I got it from her. So in a way, I got it from my mom. Alright, so let's go ahead and fire up this first blend file. I call it Arwen. That's supposed to say hair. Let me go and fix that now. Arwen hair tutorial. Now, I wrote Arwen because I was originally taking it off of an Arwen model, but I decided to use this hair because it carries this little hair strand in the front, and I want to use that as an exercise to model the hair and to show you how weights can apply to that. So that's done purposely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this file. As I said before, I have two different versions of Blender on my computer, so I'm going to just drag it and drop it to the right version that I'm using for this. And this is Blender 2.78C. My computer is getting slow. Okay, come on, faster. Alright, so here's the model. It shouldn't normally look like this. Usually it comes with a texture preloaded. It looks like it couldn't find the UVs, or the UVs couldn't find the actual texture for it. And I'm also going to be adding really soon this little widget that tells you what buttons I'm pressing on the bottom here, so that way if you have a question on what I'm pressing or what shortcuts I'm using, you can just see it down here show up. Until I get that, I would try and explain what I'm pressing as I'm pressing it, so you get an idea of the repetitiveness of that pressing, if that makes any sense at all. So let's go ahead and go in here. First, I'm going to align these UVs. Now, you may not have to. This sometimes happens. I don't know why. It's just when it imports the file, when it opens the file, sometimes this happens. Let's see if I can just refresh it. No, can't refresh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find the map that it's supposed to go with. And I have it under working files. I have hair tutorials. You see turban tutorial from our first tutorials there. Just going to go into hair tutorial and click hair diffuse.tga target file. Unlike DDS we worked with in the past, but as I have explained in the past, the Neverwinter Nights 2 engine reads two type of image formats. TGA and DDS. In this case, this is TGA. TGA basically takes up a lot more space than would a DDS. It's less compressed, so therefore it has sharper quality, but at the risk of higher hard drive space. Now, for some reason, this isn't looking right. So let's see. That shouldn't be the hair, because now we're looking at this. And that does not look cool at all. I think it's using a different map. So this gives me this actually lets me know I put the wrong files in here actually. So let's go ahead and pull those out. I'm going to put the right ones in, and I think I have them under